We got that super duper sound, super duper up, super duper down. Watch me do my thing with my super duper style. Turn it right up till it's super duper loud.
A very good evening and welcome to Daegu and our coverage of the penultimate day here at the IAAF World Athletics Championships. No full morning session today, but as ever, we've got big names on the way this evening, and one of them is the biggest name of all.
No prizes for guessing who tops our bill. Usain Bolt, the world's fastest man and the sport's greatest showman. He's strolled through the heats of the 200 metres. Now it's time for him to turn on the afterburners. And on the subject of characters, Blanka Vlasic is guaranteed to entertain in the women's high jump final. But the Croatian faces some stiff competition in her quest to complete a hat-trick of world titles. After last night's drama in the women's javelin, you can be sure to expect more of the same in the men's final tonight. Our first string quartet have made it through to the women's 4x4 final, but they face a tough task against the likes of Jamaica, the United States and Russia. We'll have the final of the men's 1500, where there's bound to be some bumping and barging. Australia's Sally Pearson looked untouchable in her heat of the 100 metres hurdles. Can she sustain that form through the semis and final this evening? And following that final, the last event of the night, the men's 200 metres. This guy.
Okay, let's dive straight into the evening session now. Here's what's coming up. The women's high jump final has just got underway. Blanka Vlasic and Anna Chicharova going in that. The men's javelin final will be underway very soon. Torkildsen and Makarov. Then we've got two Paralympic demonstration events. The women's T54 800 metres and the men's T53 400 metres. A couple of Brits going in them. Then the men's 1500 metre final, followed by the women's 4x400 relay final. GB really up against it to get a medal. Then the women's 100 metre hurdles final. You've got to say it's probably Sally Pearson's to lose, but she is on the cover of that programme. And then the men's 200 metre final. Can you see past Usain Bolt? Possibly not. Maybe Walter Nix can. Now we cross to Kath Merry at the high jump.
Thank you, Rick. Well, here is your start list for the final of the women's high jump. 12 athletes. Well, all 12 women were over the automatic qualifying height of 1 metre and 95. And the top three in the world are here. Vlasic, Chicharova and Di Martino. And if this women's high jump competition is anything like the women's javelin last night, we're in for an absolute treat. The crowd are in, they're expectant for some good athletics. And Blanka Vlasic, the defending world champion, well, she's opening her account here. Her first attempt at 1 metre and 89 for the Croatian. Well, it had been reported she was carrying an injury, but we saw no evidence of that in qualifying. So first up, first attempt at 189 for the defending champion. Very nice indeed. It's going to be a wonderful battle here this evening. Anna Chicharova of Russia is the world leader. Blanka Vlasic is the defending champion. Their head-to-head battles go all the way back to the junior days in 2000. But that was the first time clearance for the defending champion at 1 metre and 89. Emma Green Trigaro of Sweden. Well, she won a bronze medal back in 2005. 195 this year, just 6 centimetres shy of her best ever, which she set last year. Well, it might not have been as convincing as Vlasic, but she gets the clearance. Well, she's coached by her husband, Yannick Trigaro, who's the same coach as Christian Olsen. Sweden, of course, a wonderful tradition in high jumping with the likes of Kaiser Bergqvist and Stefan Holm. So Blanka Vlasic, she prepares for her next height, but this is the first attempt. for Barrett from the USA. Equal 8th on the world rankings this year. Well, she's known to be theatrical throughout her competitions. And she keeps jumping like that, we're going to see a few reasons for the American to get excited. Still only 20 years old, and in personal best form in 2011, over a height of 1.96 meters. So this high jump competition is due to warm up very nicely indeed. Anna Iljusenko of Estonia. She's walking around before she prepares for her first attempt. So what's the Nigerian record holder got? Amata. Well, first time failure for her. 1.95 meters in 2011. But took off way too far away from the bar. And that 4-meter crossbar for the women's high jump came crashing down onto the floor. And here she is then, Iljusenko of Estonia. She's the Estonian record holder indoors and out. Her first attempt at 189. Well, and much like the Nigerian, she takes it off on her first attempt. So these early heights, not troubling the real big guns at the moment, Dean. And like I say, if this warms up like the javelin did last night, it could be an absolute treat, couldn't it?
Yes, it is. I definitely think it's going to be a battle between the three top girls that you mentioned earlier on, Kat. Absolutely right there. And that injury that you was talking about, Blanka Vlasic having all year round, certainly didn't look like it in the qualifying. Cleared 1.95 by miles. So here's Zheng from China. Second attempt at 189. Modest height for most of these girls. Personal best of 1.95. There we go. A few troubles with a run up in the first attempt. Straight over in the second. Gave it a little bit of a rattle, didn't she? But equaling a personal best in the qualifying to go over the 95 automatic qualifying height. She'll be happy with that. But up to 1.93 for the next attempt.
So Deirdre Ryan of Ireland, her second attempt at 1.89 meters. She improved her Irish record from 1.93 to 1.95 in qualifying here, so we know she's in good form. That's better than the Irish record holder. The 29-year-old keeps herself in this women's high jump final. Breathed a little bit of a sigh of relief, does Deirdre Ryan.
The track action starts here with the first semi-final of the women's 100 meters. Finals at 1 o'clock your time, and the first two will qualify as of right to get to that, plus two fastest losers from these two semi-finals, three semi-finals. And this is the first of the three. And in lanes 4 and 5, Kelly Wells, United States, the US champion, indoors and out. And alongside her, Vanette Dixon of Jamaica. They're the two quickest on paper. Kelly Wells has clocked a personal best 12.5 this season, and there you see Vanette Dixon 12.77, and she has gone faster than that in the past. Felicia George of Canada in lane 6, also a talented athlete. Now this is the full lineup. Lane 1, Lisa Urik of Switzerland. 2, Nevin Janitz of Turkey. Lane 3, Lina Flores of Colombia. In 4, it's Kelly Wells of the United States. 5, Vanette Dixon of Jamaica. 6, Felicia George of Canada. Yawei Sun of China goes in lane 7. And Sandra Gomez of France out in lane 8. The favourites in lane 4, the 29-year-old American, Kelly Wells. Good start from Wells, out of the blocks well, and she's ahead. Here comes Wells, accelerating clear of the field. The Canadian, George in second place, stumbled by the Jamaican, and she's going to struggle. She's going to go out to it, I think. And the American really wrapped a barrier as well and lost considerable momentum. Felicia George has gone through and won that one. Wells smashed the penultimate barrier, really hammered it and lost all her momentum, but she did manage to squeak through in second place. Vanette Dixon, the Jamaican, made a real hash of it. A winning time for George of Canada, 12.73, and that underlines that with hurdles you just can never take anything for granted. She gets out of the blocks well, and just watch the Jamaican, Vanette Dixon. She's the first one to hammer the timber, and then that having happened, Wells does precisely the same, and through comes George. That was, look at that, just completely took the momentum out of her legs. And on the third side, Ulrich it was who came through in third place and may well have a time to get through as the fastest loser. Well, Catherine Merry watching with me. That was a bit of mayhem.
Well, it could have been a bit of a lack of concentration for the American. We, of course, remember big races where Lolo Jones, who isn't here, often has problems stumbling over hurdles. But Wells will, one, be relieved that she finished in a qualifying position, but she's really not going to be allowed to get away with those kind of mistakes.
She was on for a quick time, though, because she's clocked 12.79 in second place. Felicia George winning in 12.73. Should have been down around about 12.5, 12.55, I think, if that hadn't happened.
Exactly, and she knows that. She's got a little bit of time now before the final later. But George from Canada, though, well, 12.73. That's a personal best for the Canadian athlete. So those two are automatically through. There's the result then, John.
There's the result. Felicia George winning in 12.73, and it's personal best, so well done to her. Kelly Wells, she's into the final. May not get a great lane draw, though. She can go faster. Lisa Ulrich and Lena Flores have to wait and see if they can get through as fastest losers.
So the women's high jump final continues. Deirdre Ryan from Ireland, her first attempt at 1.93 meters. Nice clearance by the Irish record holder. Took those two attempts to get over 1.89 meters, but it seems like she's calming herself down. The nerves are being squashed, and the 29-year-old from Ireland, a nice clearance at her first attempt then at 1.93. Herself and all the big guns are still in this women's high jump final.
Here we go with the second of the three semi-finals in the women's 100-meter hurdles, and the favourite is Sally Pearson in lane 3. She's been in superb form all season, and she came through the heat in 12.53, carrying the hopes of a nation. The Olympic silver medalist, only 5th in the final 2 years ago, but she had problems with her back. Outside her in 4 is Perdita Felicien of Canada, world champion in Paris in 2003. There is the Canadian. Fell at the first hurdle in the Olympic final back in 2004. Silver medalist at the World Indoors last year. She looks happy, she looks ready. Outside her is Dawn Harper of the United States, the Olympic champion in lane 5. So it's Spence of Jamaica in 1. There is Dawn Harper, the Olympic champion. 1 in Rome, and Daegu, 3rd in the US Championships. So, Spence of Jamaica in 1, Adigan of Nigeria in 2, Sally Pearson, Australia 3, Felicien, Canada in 4, Harper, United States in 5, Shrabakova, Czech Republic in 6, Ivaninskaya of Kazakhstan in 7, Dekterieva of Russia in 8. Pearson, Commonwealth champion, the Olympic silver medalist. Felicien, former world champion. Dawn Harper, the Olympic champion. 3 into 2 does not go. Only the first 2 to go through automatically. Don't forget Shrabakova of the Czech Republic in lane 6. But all eyes on Sally Pearson in 3. Sally Pearson normally gets away well, and she's up into her running, and she's away and clear from the rest of the field. Sally Pearson all at a canter. Harper in a battle for the second spot with the Russian on the near side. Sally Pearson superb. Dawn Harper gets the second place. 12.37 the unofficial time. The Australian is absolutely flying, and on that kind of form you can't see anyone beating her. She left the Olympic champion Dawn Harper absolutely standing. 12.36, it's been rounded down, and that is a new personal best as well.
Wow, 12:36 in the semifinal, a personal best. Sally Pearson, we know she's got speed over the 100 meters. She's so clean over the hurdles. What makes her so great is you see how crisp she is over the hurdles, but look at the speed between the hurdles. She's got good 100-meter flat speed. Just runs away. That's Dawn Harper in second. That is the Olympic champion. When you destroy an Olympic champion like that in a semifinal, you destroy the confidence of that Olympic champion. There's no way that any of these athletes could possibly think they could beat her when she's at her best, as long as she clears each hurdle. Very crisp, very clean. You see not a lot of shoulder movement there, clearing the barriers, extremely focused. Amazing 12:36 in the semifinal. She can't believe it herself.
Well, Sally Pearson, for me, is one of the best well-drilled athletes in the world. Her technique is solid, her base speed is superb. Let's not forget, she's ran 11.20 seconds this season over 100 meters. By far the quickest sprint hurdler in the world in this event. And well, she crossed the line 12.36 seconds in the semi-final for a world lead. She goes through, as does Dawn Harper.
So the men's javelin final is underway. Martinez from Cuba, one of the furthest qualifiers. In fact, he was the furthest qualifier a couple of days ago with 83.77. It's an 87.17 man at his best, set back in 2006. Silver medal 2 years ago in Berlin. Wow, hits it hard, high and long, very long, and out towards the 85-meter line. A long, long way over that solid yellow line. The caption that shows you where the lead is at the moment. Oh, he's pumped up, isn't he? He's a big fella. Look at that, hits it straight through the point, nice and hard. Creating a base with his feet, pulling on that javelin as long as he can. Into first place, 84.30. Very, very solid start from Martinez. Now, Andre Torkelson, first round throw. Didn't qualify very well. He's a two-time European champion, two-time Olympic champion. He's the defending world champion. Well, there you go. Saying to his coach, I know what went wrong. Kept the nose down too low, and it died a death in the air. Still looks an awful long way, doesn't it? But this man, later on in the rounds, will definitely be the man to beat. 80 meters 75 though. Not a good start. Now, Matthias Desordo from Germany, the left-hander. European silver medalist last year, and an 87.81 man at his very, very best. Big shout, big throw, looks long, looks high. Oh, that is very, very long. Over the 85-meter round, he's got a reputation for putting out a big throw early in the competition. He's just done that. Put the pressure on the rest of the field. There we go, high jump spike on his back foot, javelin boot on his front foot, give him more stability. With a commitment on release. There's Boris Henry, double world championship medalist in the javelin for Germany as well. And 86.27 for Desordo, into the lead.
We've got the third heat of the women's 100 meters now. And here a great moment, a great opportunity for Tiffany Porter of Great Britain. She'll be starting in lane 6. She's got the British record recently, 12.6. Derval O'Rourke, the Irish athlete, in lane 5, doesn't start, not fit to take her place in this final. Danielle Carruthers of the United States in 3 could be the one who pushes Porter. Going to be between those two, you suspect, but then again, We've seen in that first semi-final plenty of errors, and then that wonderful run from Sally Pearson. I wonder if Jordanka Donkova's world record, which has stood since 1988, might be at risk in the final. Well, here's the lineup in lane 1. Cindy Rolleder of Germany. Alongside her in lane 2, Vitis Schrott of Austria, the Austrian record holder. Both these athletes you've seen so far can run sub 13 seconds. That's the benchmark for real world class. And then in lane 3, 4th at the 2006 World Indoor Championships, but in good form this season. She's clocked 12.52, lifetime best, Danielle Carruthers. Nikita Holder of Canada goes in lane 4, best of 12.9. Lane 5 vacant. So here's Tiffany Porter.
Well, we know she can perform when it matters. Remember at those European Indoor Championships, she had an average heat, but then really came to life in the semi-final when she broke the British record over the 60-meter hurdles indoors. And then, of course, going on to take a silver medal in that championship. So we know that she can deliver when it matters. And I've got a feeling she's going to run pretty quick here tonight.
Brigitte Milano of Colombia in lane 7. Now completing the lineup, it's the defending champion who's had injury problems, not been in the form of old this season, Bridget Foster Hilton. 12.96 in her heat to get to this stage, a season's best. There's Tiffany Porter. She competed as an American as a junior, but opted for Britain in 2010 and was cleared to do so by the IAAF. She has British and American citizenship. So Tiffany Porter, the British record holder,
on your mark,
trying to get through into the final. If she gets at her very best, she's got a squeak of a medal in this, unquestionably. But first, she's got to get into that final. Onto their blocks. Rolder, Germany in 1, Schrott, Austria in 2, Carruthers, United States in 3, Holder, Canada in 4, Porter in 5, in 6 rather, Milano, Colombia in 7, and Foster Hilton in lane 8.
set,
Tiffany Porter next to that vacant lane was the first to rise. Also going well is Holder of Canada, and Porter's in front. The Americans trying to come back, Carruthers, but Porter's got an inch or two ahead of her, and she's going to win that one. And a good time. It's a lifetime best. The British record has gone 12.57 if that's confirmed, and Tiffany Porter has won. The British record has gone, and she is into the final. And Michael Johnson, you'll have appreciated that. Good piece of hurdling.
A very nice piece of hurdling. She'll be very proud of that. She'll go into that final later on tonight with some improved confidence, and she'll have to, because these girls are running personal best being set in the semifinals. She gets a very good start there. Not as clean if you contrast her to what we saw in the last heat. Not as clean, not as quick, but very powerful hurdler. A nice finish. She will be very, very confident, very happy with that. Confidence is extremely important. You build it through the rounds. When you see somebody go out there and put down a fast time, you know this track is quick. She took advantage of that, and Tiffany Porter will be happy with that and extremely confident going into tonight's final.
It was a wonderful performance. I had a feeling she was going to run fast. She does start to deliver at major championships when the semi-finals come around, but Tiffany Porter, an aggressive run, a clean run over those 10 flights of hurdles. She didn't clip one, and she's been rewarded with a new British record confirmed at 12.56 seconds. And as you said, John, come this final later, which is at 1 p.m. for you guys in the UK, Tiffany Porter, well, she's become our first finalist since Shirley Strong back in 1983. She could be in with a chance here of a little bit of a medal.
Absolutely, Tiffany Porter, British record, second time this season that she's done that, 12.56. She goes through. Danielle Carruthers also, and Nikita Holder there you saw in third place, she's among the fastest losers there. The other fastest loser berth to Tatiana Dektyarova of Russia. Sally Pearson, though, 12.36. What a performance from her, and emphatically by some distance she is the athlete to beat in that final. And remember, don't miss it, chance of a British medal, it comes at 1 o'clock.
Well, in the men's javelin final, this is the guy that's doing it for the old boys, 38-year-old Sergei Makarov, 92 meters 62 back in 2002. Was world champion back in 2003, world number 1 back in 2003. Struggling a little bit now. Came off the weights this season. That's why he's back in the World Championship final. He's injury-free. And he's ripped as well, isn't he? Hitting that javelin nice and high. I have noticed that the higher flights in the javelin's been going a little bit further. 78, 76. It's an improvement, but still down in 9th place. Well, there's the javelin laying on the floor. And javelins, incidentally, with these guys, all 800 grams, just over 2.5 meters in length. And there'll be a few brands down there for the guys to pick. So, Faith Avan from Turkey. Well, just about stops himself before that line. 84 meters, 69 personal best set this year, so he's in shape. And he's over 83 to get into the medal positions, but it is an early round in this javelin final. First 3 rounds, and then we'll get rid of the bottom 4 throwers into the last 3 rounds. A bit of an anxious look, but it looked pretty good. 83, 34 into bronze medal position as it stands at the moment. Now, second attempt for Andreas Torkelson. Certainly in recent history, the last few years, he's looked almost undefeatable. Defending world champion, he got a silver medal in the 2 previous world championships before that. He didn't look great in qualifying, he certainly didn't look great in the first round, and he needs to put a mark out there now. Well, you can tell by his face straight away that he's not impressed with himself, and only just peppering that 80-meter line, just about a foot over it. It doesn't look like he's in fantastic shape. Known as the Norwegian David Beckham, you can clearly see why. But that jab, you can clearly see there, flying like a little bit of a banana at the moment. He's not hitting cleanly through it. 80 meters 46, down in 7th place.
And here is Anna Chicharova of Russia. First attempt at 197, nice and tidy. Her scorecard is so far superb, it couldn't be any better. She opened at 1.89 m, first time clearance. First time over 1.93 m, and that could be vital as the heights go up when the medals are to be decided. But the Russian world leader, well, she's gone over. What has the world number 2 got in response? We've spoken, haven't we, about Blanka Vlasic, this injury that she's supposed to be carrying throughout 2011. But the reigning world champion indoors and out. And I can tell you, she went over first time at 1.89 m. She also had a first time clearance at 1.93 m. Can she follow the Russian? She asks the crowd for the support. Slow, rhythmical clapping is what Blanka Vlasic likes to jump with. The Croatian matches the Russian. She comes off with a bit of a grimace. Technically, there's things in that she's going to have to improve on. Eyes up the bar, pushes through. And well, this is hotting up to be a wonderful battle between these 2 athletes. First time clearance then at 1.97 m for Blanka Vlasic.
Well, next year in London, we will have the Paralympics, and you can watch that on Channel 4, and now you can get a real taster of some of the action. This is the women's T54. It should perhaps be more accurately called the women's T53-54. Now, let me just explain as we look at Madison Tesario in lane 1 what this means. T54 is paraplegia affecting the lower limbs. T53 and Madison de Rosario, who you saw there, is a T53 classification athlete that affects the lower limbs, paraplegia of the lower limbs and of the trunk. In lane 2 you saw Korea's Kyung Sun Kang and a great roar from the crowd, and this is Manuela Scheier of Switzerland. She goes in 3. All the athletes here in the T54 class, with the exception of Rosario in lane 1. And in lane 4, 40-year-old Diane Roy. She's been an outstanding Paralympian for many a year. Commonwealth Games champion as well in the 1500 meters last year, and a former IPC World Marathon champion. Starting in lane 5 for this 800 meters, Japan's Wakako Tsuchida. She's been a Paralympic champion in both winter and summer. Competed in Winter Paralympic Games in sledge racing, winning 2 golds and 2 silvers back in '98. And there's, in lane 6, Shelley Woods from Blackpool, works for Blackpool Council, visiting schools and giving inspirational talks about sport. Gunilla Wallengren of Sweden out in lane 7, and in lane 8, alongside her, completing the lineup from the United States, Amberlynn Weber. Well, Shelley Woods, British record holder at 800 metres, 1500 metres, 5,000 metres, half marathon and marathon, 25 years old, and she could be one of the names who you will see and remember from this Games, but also from the Olympics next year. So the 800 metres T54 is underway, 2 laps of the track, and the times, well, they really fly when they get going. The world record's 149.82 for T53, and for T54, the world record 145.19. Well, they go down the back straight now, and you can see Shelley Woods has made a decent start, and she's tracking Tsuchida, the Japanese, who has the early lead and coming wide, Wallengren for Sweden, and Shelley Woods settles into second place. And now you see the athletes start to pick up that momentum. Tsuchida of Japan in front. Woods is in second place, third place, and going well, just tracking De Rosario, the Australian, who had the inside lane and made the most of it. And they come up now at this point and take the bell. Shelley Woods is third.
Yes, this is a good effort by the British woman, but she's got Diane Roy immediately behind her in 4th place, and she'll know that the 40-year-old Canadian might come on strong, but it's a great opportunity this for Shelley Woods to get a taste of the big-time atmosphere, and the Canadian now starting to make her move.
Roy is making her challenge. Here she comes, and Shelley Woods has got to respond, and she's got herself a little bit boxed, and it's the Japanese athlete Tsuchida who's coming round towards the straight in the lead, and she's been a tremendous run through from Roy. She's really moved through powerfully around the bend, and as they come down the straight now, Shelley Woods trying to get back into contention. She's moved up into third. Can she get up to second? I don't think so. Roy's going to win it, and Tsuchida takes second. Third place for Shelley Woods, and a winning time, a quick one, 150.91. No substitute for experience. Diane Roy from Canada, 40 years old, and she's been a top Paralympian for many a year. She wins it, judged her race to perfection, streaking round that second bend, had to come wide, but look at the momentum as she comes towards the straight.
It was a brilliant push by Diane Roy. She's twice a Great North Run winner. She was Commonwealth champion in New Delhi last year over 1500 metres, and she put her arm in the air a couple of metres before the line and hit cruise control The Japanese athlete did well, and so too Shelley Woods, way inside her season's best. You can see her there, another 3 or 4 metres, and I think Woods may well have got second. She's had a very long season. She got a bronze medal at the World Championships back in January. Big smile. She could be a big star next year for Great Britain at those Paralympics, and that was a great taster of what's to come.
Can be great drama in these Paralympic events, and it's something we're all looking forward to on Channel 4, and you'll be able to watch all the action with us next year. And there the result, Diane Roy winning it in 150.91. Second, Wakako Tsushida 151.11, and Shelley Woods taking third in a lifetime best. Terrific performance from her, a season's best, I beg your pardon. Terrific performance from her, and she's taken 4 seconds off her best time nearly. Here's the result, victory for the 40-year-old Canadian. She got the silver at the Beijing Paralympics, and she wins here 150.91. Wakako Tsushida of Japan in second place, 151.11. And Rochelle Woods, or Shelley Woods as we know her, 151.27, taking third.
Well, the second of our disability events is the men's 400 metres T53, and Great Britain have Mickey Bushell from Birchfield Harriers going in lane 2, Paralympic silver medalist over the 100 metres, stepping up in distance. This is also a T53 race, just to remind you if you're just joining us. T53 classification is paraplegia affecting the lower limbs and the trunk. So Mickey Bushell, 2 good performances at the IPC World Championships back in January. Silver in the 100 and bronze in the 200, so he's had a very long season. And bit of a test of stamina. And one of his rivals in this one is Richard Coleman, gold medalist in the 800 metres back in Athens, world champion this year, and second in the Commonwealth Games demonstration events in New Delhi last year. Coleman just shaking those shoulders, loosening off. And we have 2 Koreans in this race as well, as Mickey Bushell just prepares for this test. 4 gold medals at the World Junior Championships 2 years ago. So a man who's used to peaking at the right time. Paralympic silvers, World Championship silvers, and how he'll hope to turn that to gold in front of what we are expecting to be massive crowds for the Paralympics. This time next year, it will be the concluding weekend. It's due to be a fabulous festival of disability sport. So, Joshua George goes on the inside for the United States. Remember, he beat Mickey Bushell only just for that gold medal. There he is on the inside, the American. So, Joshua George in 1, Mickey Bushell, Great Britain, the Birchfield Harrier in 2, Yun Hiramishi of Japan in 3, Dong-ho Jung of Korea in 4, Brun-hoon Hugh of Korea in 5, Richard Coleman, the Australian in 6, Hee-Shea Krunge of Thailand in 7, and Eric Gauthier, the evergreen performer on the outside in lane 8, relay bronze, and he will have been spurred on by the efforts of his compatriot Diane Roy in the race we've just seen, both still competing at the age of 40. And once again here in Daegu on this penultimate evening, just looking around the stadium, a fabulous atmosphere. It really has been a great championship, and the crowd have embraced every event they've seen, and I'm sure they'll give all of these guys a big reception as they're introduced to the crowd. And Mickey Bushell looks very cool and calm.
Big delay, they're being kept waiting a long time, I know that. And not ideal. Some nerves, I'm sure. And I'm sure, absolutely, that he's not as cool as he looks. But there you are, there's the full lineup. Already gone through that for you. But Great Britain's Mickey Bushell in lane 2 for this 400 metres. That's not a bad draw. He's going to be able to keep a close watch on all the big guns outside him, including in lane 6, the Australian Richard Coleman.
So there is the American. Very nice bandana. He looks pretty relaxed. Those big shoulders took him to Paralympic glory 3 years ago over the 100 metres, the 27-year-old. 3 times a Chicago Marathon winner as well, so he's used to the longer events. This will be a good part of his training. There's the Birchfield Harrier, Mickey Bushell. Finished second behind the American. Got a season's best of 52.63 over the 400 metres. Just 21 years of age. A rising star of the British team. Hiramishi, silver medalist in the 800 metres 11 years ago. He's been around a while, the 37-year-old. 7th in the Paralympic marathon 3 years ago. Dong Ho Chung, listen to the reception for the home star. And not just one from South Korea, but 2. Byung-hoon Yoo goes in lane 5. Outside him, Richard Coleman, a versatile, talented performer, gold medalist in Athens over the 800 metres, world champion in New Zealand this year over the same distance. Commonwealth silver. Can he lay down a useful marker at the end of a long season and let his rivals know that he's intent on coming to London for gold once again? Kishe Kunge, 5th in the 100 metres behind Joshua George and Mickey Bushell 3 years ago, made the final in New Zealand earlier this year. And on the outside, the 40-year-old Canadian, evergreen performer, World Championship 4x4 relay bronze medalist. And he also looks pretty relaxed.
And he might be inspired as well, Rob, because we saw the Canadian win the first of those races, these Paralympic races. Diane Roy, also 40 years old.
You can see the hand grips. It's all power, and once these guys get into their full flow, they are pretty quick. The world record, 47.36. So we'll look for the crowd to give these guys a big roar as they head round the bend. Mickey Bushell is up onto the shoulder of Hiramishi, and also going well, Richard Coleman out in lane number 6, the Australian, closing down on Kunge of Thailand. And listen to the roar of the crowd. Mickey Bushell is going quite well on the inside in lane 2, but it's Richard Coleman. Now let's see how it goes as the bend unfolds. Jung in 4 is giving the home crowd reason to get excited. Richard Coleman in 6. Jung in 4. Mickey Bushell with a little bit of ground to make up. It's Australia 1, Korea 2, Korea 3. Bushell's being overtaken by Joshua George. What a win by Richard Coleman. Neck and neck with the Koreans. Yu takes second, Jung takes third. And what a performance, not just by the Australian, but by the 2 Koreans. They didn't arrive here with a great deal of form, but they have got this crowd on their feet. And what a superb advert for Paralympic sport. It was a little too quick for Mickey Bushell, but he'll learn from that experience. What a push and what a race by Richard Coleman, John.
Well, he set a punishing pace from the outset. I don't think he was ever headed. Terrific speed down that back straight and then into the final bend. And look at the gap that he'd established. The Korean, predominantly Korean crowd was going bonkers for their 2 men in lanes 4 and 5. Dong Ho Jung and Byung-hoon Yoo. It was Yoo who came through, but look at the margin of victory. Very good athletes from the United States in 4th place, Joshua George, but Richard Coleman, the 2004 Paralympic champion at 800 metres, generating colossal speed, and he was way clear of the field, fully 8 or 9 metres, and Mickey Bushell just couldn't live with that. He wins in a time of 49.36. ahead of Byung-Hoon Yu and Dong-Ho Jung. Joshua George takes 4th place, and Mickey Bushell, 51.7, in the end had to settle for 6th, and he'll be, well, perhaps a tad disappointed in that, although it is his best time of the season, 52.63 according to our records, the previous best that he had. So 51.7, he has improved that, but his personal best is inside 51 seconds. But Coleman, well, that was good. Can't wait for these Paralympics to start in London next year. It's going to be terrific to watch. Real drama and some inspirational performances. Here's the results.
Well, what a fabulous push by the Paralympic champion. Richard Coleman takes it, 49.36. A silver and bronze for the Koreans. Delight for this crowd. Yu and Jung, Joshua George just out of the medals, and Mickey Bushell down in 6th.
Well, 3 rounds complete in the men's javelin final. That means we're going to get rid of the bottom 4. Topping the chart at the moment, Matthias de Zordo, 86.27, but look at that, down in 8th place. Andreas Torkelson needs to get a move on in this round. 3 throws left. Well, this is his 4th round throw. Just over 80 metres in every one of his first 3 throws. He needs 84 plus to get into the medals. Well, timing doesn't look great, but the speed of release was better, and that is well over the 80-metre mark. Not quite anywhere near that lead throw mark there, you could see, but he's getting there. And this guy, he might take a long time to warm up, but when he nails one of those throws, he's so dangerous. Over 90 metres at his best. There you go, 84.78 into 2nd place.
Over in the high jump, Deirdre Ryan, her 3rd attempt at 1.97 meters. This would be a new national record. She improved it in qualifying to 1.95 meters. She put 2 centimeters onto that national record in qualifying. So Deirdre Ryan, it would be a national record, which would be wonderful, but it would also keep her in this women's high jump final. It was close for the Irish athlete, but she puts her head in her hands. She thanks the crowd for their support. Well, I think she'll be pleased with the performance of getting into this major championship final, the Irish athlete, but a little bit of frustration there. She goes out in the final with that first time clearance at 1.93 meters. Anna Chichirova of Russia, a clear scorecard so far, has the advantage of jumping first at all these big heights now. Smooth, very smooth. The Russian is the world leader in many people's eyes. She was the favorite to take this crown. She's looking for her first major senior outdoor gold medal, is the 29-year-old, and so far tonight here in Daegu, she is absolutely flawless. That has put the pressure on Blanka Vlasic. What has the Croatian got in response? A 2nd attempt now at 2 meters. Better. Well, the bar wobbles slightly, and that 2nd time clearance, she gives herself a little bit of a jig, but that could prove vital when it comes to handing the medals out, because Chichirova has a clear scorecard, and Blanka Vlasic, well, she took 2 attempts to get over that 2-meter height, but the world number 2, the defending champion, is still in the mix. Anna Chichirova, what must she be thinking? Coming back from the birth of her daughter in September last year. Nika, her daughter, was born. The stadium, of course, being very respectful as the medal ceremony continues for the T54 women's 800 meters. Shelley Woods from Great Britain and Northern Ireland on your left there. She's just one of the Paralympic athletes very excited for London 2012. And Diane Roy from Canada then taking the gold.
Well, here we go with the final of the men's 1500 metres. On paper, the Kenyans should be favourites, but this is wide open. Great news for Kieran O'Linnard, only becoming the second Irishman to make the final of the 1500 metres. Iguaida of Morocco can't be ignored, but Silas Kiplagat is the fastest man in the world this year, and he's also the Commonwealth champion. Keep your eye out for Mehdi Bala as well. He fell in the heats and was then advanced to the semis, and the Frenchman, former silver medalist, is in good nick. Could be a very, very tight race, this one. Gebri Meedin of Ethiopia was fourth in the World Indoor Championships. And the second page of starters that you didn't get a chance to see there, Asbel Kiprop. But there is O'Linnard. There you go, Nick Willis, Olympic silver medalist. He collapsed after qualifying from his semi-final, so we wait to see if he's struggling with any after effects of the humidity. But Asbel Kiprop, the third fastest in the world this year and the Olympic champion. Bukenza of Algeria is one to be noted as well. But O'Linnard, what a story for the Irishman. He herniated discs last year and was told to retire, that surgery was the only option. He said no, and he's made the final. Mustaoui, the 2007 Arab champion. He was sixth 2 years ago. He is a definite danger. Looks calm, looks focused. What a story for Matthew Centrovitz, the US champion. Massive improvement this year. Won the US Championships and got the qualifying time in Paris. That was a very fast race. Mehdi Bala falls in the heats, gets reinstated, comes through the semi. The silver medalist from 2003. Could there be a story for him this year? You can see the graze on his right shoulder. Mekanen Gebri Meedin, fourth in the World Indoor Championships. In great shape this year, he's gone under 3:32. Kieran O'Linnard got his personal best this year down from 3:48 to 3:34. Told he needed surgery on herniated discs, said no, and look where he is now. Abdeleti Iguaida, World Indoor silver medalist last year. And he too is one who could be a threat. And how about this guy, Silas Kiplagat, the fastest man in the world this year, the Commonwealth champion, and amazingly, he only had his first race outside Kenya last year. Almeida, European bronze medalist last year. He's gone under 3:35. You suspect he may have to go faster to feature here. Nick Willis, good to see him smiling. Commonwealth bronze last year, Olympic silver 3 years ago. Did that collapse after the semi-final do any lasting damage? Asbel Kiprop, the Olympic champion, so focused. Twice he's finished fourth in the World Championship. Sometimes gets his tactics wrong. Can he get it right tonight? Villanueva, the Venezuelan, personal best to qualify. He's got his national colours on his shoulder. And on the outside, good quality athlete, Tarek Bukenza. Fifth in Osaka 4 years ago. And once again, look at that personal best. He's gone under 3:31. This is a loaded final. On paper, the Kenyans, with Asbel Kiprop and Silas Kiplagat, should feature, but this could be very, very close. Here we go then. Who goes to the front and takes it on? Centrovitz on the inside. Iguaida out in two. Willis up onto the shoulder of the Moroccan. And Nick Willis now, the man who collapsed after his semi-final. He's taken it on. So Willis doesn't normally go to the front, but the New Zealander has decided to use some tactics here. He leads from Centrovitz, the American. Iguaida is in third, and they're the two Kenyans. Two of the three fastest athletes in the world this year, tucked in fourth and fifth, and the Irishman O'Linnard running along with Bukenza in sixth. So Ewan Thomas, interesting tactics from the New Zealander.
Very interesting. He collapsed, as you said, in the previous round, and hasn't dented his confidence because he's gone right to the front. He wants to dictate this pace. and he wants to take it out in his own manner, and he's looking quite good. Obviously, long way to go yet. Kenyan athletes, very rangy. Kiprop there, very tall figure on the outside, keeping himself in contention.
60 seconds at 400 metres. Nick Willis from Matt Centrovitz. Igida is on the inside in third place. Kiprop, Gebri Medin. The other Moroccan, Moustaoui, is at the back, just in front of Mehdi Bala, but the Frenchman's in great form. Is he waiting to pounce with something special? Nick Willis then, still leading. Good run at the moment by Centrovitz. Asbel Kiprop watching the big screen. So often he gets his major championship tactics wrong. Can he get it right tonight? Gebri Medin is on the outside. They're still bunched, Ewan, and this is where the tactics come into play.
It certainly does. I think this is leading up. It's going to be a fast finish without a doubt. Pace isn't lightning quick at the moment, but Kiprop to me just looks so in control. He just looks like he's basically tracking them at the moment, going down the back straight. He's looking around. He's looking for his teammate.
Nick Willis then. The two Kenyans sandwiched, a little nudge there by Gebri Medin. So Kiprop is at the front, little bit of a nudge. Willis got tripped there and he's going backwards. So Kiprop from Gebri Medin. Silas Kiplagat on their shoulder. Willis on the inside. Centrovitz is still there. Mehdi Bala, the Frenchman, is at the back. Igida is coming up onto the shoulder of his compatriot. So Kiprop, Gebri Medin, Kiplagat, Nick Willis. They hit the bell, and now it starts to pick up.
It certainly does. Bala right at the back. I'm surprised by that. Has he got enough confidence and speed to finish fast here? He's going to have to. The pace is picking up down the back straight.
And Kiplagat has hit the front. Silas Kiplagat, the fastest man in the world this year, with Gebri Medin on his shoulder. Kiprop's trying to find a way back through on the inside and makes it. Bala might try and come from the back. He's second last at the moment. Kiprop then from Kiplagat. Gebri Medin, Igida on the inside. Gebri Medin trying to come, and this is the Olympic champions' bid for gold. Asbel Kiprop, Silas Kiplagat onto his shoulder. Igida's trying to come on the inside. Centrovitz is doing all he can to get in the race. Watch the Spaniard as well, but Asbel Kiprop is going to take the title. Kiprop takes it from Kiplagat, and Centrovitz came through for the bronze. The Olympic champion is now the world champion, and he sometimes gets the tactics wrong, but he was absolutely spot on tonight. He's been beaten 4 times this season by Silas Kiplagat, but Kiprop was watching the big screen as he came round for the bell, and he decided tonight was his night. The Olympic champion has taken another global crown, and it's a 6th gold of these World Championships for the Kenyans.
Kiprop was totally in control there, looking around. He's a very tall athlete. This is where the pain must be setting in. These guys have worked so hard, but don't get me wrong, this hurts. This is their last race. This is the most important race of their careers. It's the World Championship final, and he's driving for the line. And the fast finishing American, fantastic. And I think he had the biggest smile at the end of the race, coming through for the bronze medal. Great result.
Well, how often have we seen this? The Kenyans have taken the women's 5 and 10,000, the women's marathon. Ezekiel Kemboi won the steeplechase, Rudisha the 800, and now Asbel Kiprop, who is so often really frustrating with his tactics. He had plenty left, and Kiplagat had to settle for silver. And as you said, Ewan, a superb bronze medal for Matt Centrovitz, the US champion this year, a surprise package. And he has produced a great performance there.
Well, this is a place to produce a performance of your life. The World Championship final. I've said it before, it doesn't matter how great you look in the heats, you've got to look great in the final, and he did that.
Well, what a championship it's turning out to be for the Kenyans. Gold for Asbel Kiprop, silver for Silas Kiplagat, and a fantastic bronze medal for the new US sensation this year, Matthew Centrovitz.
Well, coming up, the 4x400 metres relay final, the women's, it's at 12:40, and Great Britain competing there, looking for a medal.
The women's high jump final is hotting up Di Martino of Italy, her third attempt at 2 meters. And she's clear. And the chances are that that's going to guarantee her at least a bronze medal here tonight. She is the world number 3. And I can tell you that we have the world's top 3 battling it out for the gold, silver and bronze. That third time clearance by the Italian. Hugs and kisses all round. Keeps her in the competition, currently in bronze medal position. But here is the event leader, Anna Chicharova of Russia. Her first attempt at 2 meters and 3. A huge advantage ahead of Vlasic in the running order. Can she go over first time? She's been doing it all night. And she can. Well, there is no better scorecard in the high jump than Chicharova's. Really now has put the pressure on Blanka Vlasic. She's been doing it all night long. First time clearances. The shoulder was nice, it was away from the bar. Her coach had told her previously, keep your shoulder away from the bar. And she took that on board. She is in pole position, 2 meters and 3, first time. So, Blanka Vlasic, the defending world champion. She's going for a hat-trick of titles here in Daegu. This is her second attempt at 2 meters and 3, currently in the silver medal position. Such a focused athlete is the Croatian. She's going to need this. And she gets it. And I think the scream says it all. She has a quiet word with herself. She's still in the hunt here. That injury she apparently has been carrying is not evident here tonight. And that scream, that picture says it all. A second time clearance at 2 meters and 3. Which means the medals, well, they're going to Italy, they're going to Croatia, and they're going to Russia. But the funky little dance means the defending champion is still in the hunt. The Russian just can't shake her off at the moment. Di Martino of Italy then. 2 meters is a season's best. 2 meters and 3, set 4 years ago, is the personal best of the 33-year-old Italian. No. Her third attempt then, her third failure. Well, she did come into this competition as the world number 3. She wasn't able to challenge the Russian and Croatian here tonight. But this women's high jump competition has gone to the form book. And the European indoor champion this year picks up a world championship outdoor medal. A bronze medal for the Italian then. Going over with that third time clearance at 2 meters. The Italian, well, she seems reasonably happy.
So over to the men's javelin. Matheus Desordo there with his first round throw, still leading into the 5th round. And if it's anything like the women's javelin final we saw last night, it should really be a cracker. Andreas Torkelson has taken 4 attempts so far to get up there into the medals. But this is Mark Frank for Germany. 2005 European Cup winner, 2009 European Team Championships winner. He came 8th 2 years ago, and he's laying in exactly the same position now. Well, he hits it high. It's going long. It's going to go over the 75-meter line, but the conditions here tonight is blowing up a little bit with the wind into their faces, and then 2 minutes later it's absolutely still. Very, very inconsistent conditions. But Mark Frank, an 84-meter javelin thrower at his best. Oh, there we go. Last round of 77 meters, finishing down in 8th. Jared Bannister for Australia. 89.02 at his best, and he needs that here in the last round, laying in 7th position. The Oceanian record holder. Won the Commonwealth Games last year. So come on. He needs to hit it hard. Oh, that's low. That is low and dying well below the 75-metre line. And he puts his foot over the line, gets the red flag, does not like it.
Anna Chicharova, first attempt at 2 meters and 5 centimeters. She's in gold medal position at the moment. No, that's her first failure of the evening. And it's taken her till 2 meters and 5, let's be fair, to have a failure. Such is a consistency in this high jump final. But there's only 2 left. Anna Chicharova and Blanka Vlasic. Who will take home the gold medal here this evening? Their rivalry in competition goes back over 10 years. Vlasic's first attempt. Well, 2 meters and 5. We're into super world-class territory here. And Blanka Vlasic came into this competition with a season's best of 2 meters. She's already surpassed that with that second time clearance at 2 meters and 3. And at the moment, both the big guns, the gold and silver medalists, have a failure each at 2 meters and 5. So Chicharova still holds the lead over Vlasic.
Usain Bolt having a massage behind the scenes, just getting ready for his appearance in the 200 meters final. That is at 1:20 past.
Anna Chicharova, 2 meters and 5, her second attempt. In the gold medal position. She's won 2 silvers at this championships before, behind Blanka Vlasic. Trust me, she's not going to want another one. It was close. It was very close. The height is there. She didn't clatter through the bar. It was not a poor attempt. Just the back of the hamstrings there, taking it off. So a second failure at 2 meters and 5. Blanka Vlasic will come up to take her second attempt at 2 meters and 5. And the Croatian, well, she's going to have to get over this height if she's going to nick the gold medal away from the Russian. She has one hand on the gold medal, and only Blanka Vlasic, her long-time nemesis, can take it off her. So, second attempt at 2 meters and 5 for the defending champion. We know she's a big-time performer. You know, no. And you asked the that wasn't as good as the Russians. Time after time, it's going to come down to the last jump, this women's high jump competition. And Blanka Vlasic has one more attempt to...
Well, here we go then. The women's 4x4 relay. Great Britain go in lane 3, and they've shaken things up a little bit from the heats. Christina Huragu led off in the heats, with Perry Shake-Straighten bringing them home. But Perry will go first off here for the Brits. There she is, third in her semi-final in the 4 hurdles. Then comes Nicola Sanders. Christina Huragu goes third, and Lee McConnell will anchor the team home. As Michael said, perhaps the favourites, United States and Russia and Jamaica and Great Britain, hoping that there might be a mistake. 3 times the British women have a bronze medal. They were 4th 2 years ago. The Jamaicans, champions 10 years ago, bronze and silvers all the way through since then. Rosemary White leading things off for them, and Sharika Williams, second in the World Championships 2 years ago. She's on the anchor leg. Sanya Richards-Ross leads off a mouth-watering quartet for the United States. Alison Felix second, Jessica Beard and McCrory came 4th in the individual 400 after running a PB in the semi-final. She'll bring them home. Perry Shake Straighten. So, Belarus on the inside. Never won a medal in this event. They're anchored home by Usovic, who came 6th in the 800 meters 4 years ago. So they've got a variety of distances here. Tough inside draw, but they'll unwind after the first leg. So they are tight on the inside. Atmosphere growing here towards what should be a great climax to the penultimate day of action. Tash Pulatava, lead leg for the Belarusian, semi-finalist in the European Indoor Championships earlier this year. Then come the Czech Republic. One silver medal for them, that was back in 1983. And they will have the Great Britain quartet to chase. And John Rawling, interesting change of tactics with Perry Shake Straighten going lead leg.
Well, she was on anchor leg yesterday, wasn't she? And she clocked 49.9, which was the quickest time, British time yesterday, incidentally. 3:23.05 was 4th fastest ever by a British team. And putting her on first, shades of back in 1991 when Roger Black went first in the 4x400 metre relay gold for Great Britain. Strong athlete on the first leg.
Krivoshatka goes lead leg for the Russians, 3rd in the World Championship 2 years ago. They've got Anchuk going 2nd, European champion over 400 hurdles. Litvinova, who ran 49.55 yesterday, and Kapachinskaya, who got the bronze earlier this week. She rounds off that Russian quartet. Sanya Richards-Ross, 7th in the final. Tried to successfully defend her crown, but ran out of steam. She will give it absolutely everything here. The United States going for an unprecedented 3 4x4 relay golds in succession. They won in Osaka, they won in Berlin. Can they go 3 in a row? Ukraine will start in lane 7. Rabchenyuk goes 2nd, Yefremova brings them home. Natalia Pegida, 2nd in the European Indoor Championships 2 years ago, she starts them off. Amota Shoa, the 18-year-old with a personal best of 52.74. She leads off for the Nigerians. They've got Odomosu on leg 2. Margaret Etem, experienced campaigner. Very young team though, the Nigerians. So, will it turn out to be a duel between the Russians and the Americans? Can the Jamaicans once again bring something to the party? And what about this quartet from Great Britain? Shake Straighten, Sanders, Ahuragu and Lee McConnell. The final of the women's 4x4 relay. Great Britain in 3, Jamaica 4, Russia 5, United States in 6.
Set.
Here we go then. Let's look to see who gets the fastest start. Richards-Ross will try and go out hard, and it'll take a long time for this stagger to unwind. Perry Shake Straighten looks as though she's going quite well on the inside. Russians also now trying to close in on the Americans. Perry Shake Straighten having a good leg. She's trying to close ground on Rosemary White as they come round the top of the bend. Sanya Richards-Ross. Now she's accelerating round the bend as the Ukrainian starts to tire outside her. Perry Shake Straighten will try and grit her teeth and close down on Rosemary White. Krivoshatka, the Russian, in the centre of your screen, and Pegida of the Ukraine. So, who's first to get the baton? It's the United States just, then come Russia and Jamaica. Alison Felix on the second leg for the United States.
Well, we wondered whether Felix was going to be brought into the team, and she is. And she's been given a very healthy lead by the lead-off runner, Sanya Richards-Ross. Perry Shake Straighten ran a very solid leg indeed as well for Great Britain and Northern Ireland. And Nicola Sanders currently in 4th place there as we hit with 200 metres to go. Well, the Americans have got this, but the Russians, I can guarantee you, are going to come back, and they are coming back with the Jamaicans, with the British team in 4th.
So, Alison Felix. Natalia Anchuk is trying to close her down. Davita Prendergast, the Jamaican. Great Britain in 4th place. Nicola Sanders is trying to hang on. Felix is tiring. Prendergast has gone past the Jamaican, but a little bit of a dodgy changeover. The Americans lead, Jamaica 2nd, Russia 3rd. Great Britain now just down into 4th place.
Well, the changeover between the Russians and the Jamaicans completely changed the places there. The Russians are off the pace at the moment, and the Jamaicans are tracking down the American team. Christina Horogu is currently in 5th for Great Britain and Northern Ireland, tracking down the Ukrainian. But the American team at the moment have a healthy lead. Come on, Christina Horogu.
There she goes into 4th place. Meanwhile, Jessica Beard coming into the home straight. Noveline Williams-Mills in 2nd. Litvinova is in 3rd place. The United States, Jamaica, Russia. Christina Horogu has got Great Britain into 4th place with the Ukraine in hot pursuit. And the Americans are away and clear here. Francina McCrory has a huge advantage. She's gone off very hard. Sharika Williams on the last leg for Jamaica, and Kapachinskaya, the Russian. She ran down McCrory for the bronze in the individual race. Here she comes then, Francina McCrory. Sharika Williams is dragging Kapachinskaya with her, but the Americans have an unassailable lead as McCrory starts to rock and roll a little tiny bit, but it looks very much as though it's going to be a 3rd successive gold in this women's 4x4 relay for the United States. McCrory is tiring. Williams is coming home for the silver for Jamaica, and Kapachinskaya makes it bronze for Russia. Lee McConnell bringing Great Britain home in 4th place.
Well, that's the kind of order of the team that have put Britain and Northern Ireland into 4th place. I think that's the best the British team could have hoped for going into that final. The United States, well, they seemed to get their team selection and their order just right, didn't they? And the team from the USA, including Alison Felix there and Sanya Richards-Ross, and the other 2 athletes of Jessica Beard and Francina McCrory, have become world champions for the Stars and Stripes. And the Jamaican team confirmed in silver with 3 minutes 18.71. And Russia grabbed a season's best time of 3 minutes 19.36 for the bronze medal. And the British team, well, it was a job well done in 4th.
Well, it was always going to be the Russians, Jamaicans, and the U.S. A little bit iffy on the U.S.'s team selection in terms of where they put their personnel, front-loading the team with Sanya Richards-Ross and Alison Felix. But Francina McCrory, who's been just improving all year, was able to hold off the fast-closing Jamaicans. Sharika Williams there. I thought the Russians may have a little bit of an advantage over the Jamaicans, but Jamaicans ran a very good relay there. I think they had more fresh personnel. The British team, well, it was going to be tough. They tried to shift around the personnel there a little bit with Perry Shakes-Drayton, did a very good job on first leg. But these 3 teams just outclassed them today. The U.S., I'm sure, will be happy with that goal. And this athlete here, Perry Shakes-Drayton, unfortunately not in the final in the 400-meter hurdles, but she's been improving. I think she will take a great deal of confidence from this competition, from this World Championships. She ran a very nice first leg there to put Nicola Sanders in good position and contention for medals, but it wasn't to be. But she's had a great championships, and I think she'll go into next year with a lot of confidence. Christina Horogu, disappointment in the false start in the 400 meters. Did all she could here to try to hold off the Ukraine and ran smart and probably ran the best leg she'd be able to run, and coming back at the end to put Lee McConnell in position, but it just wasn't going to ever be enough for them.
So McCrory anchoring the United States to glory, but there were some suspect changeovers from the Russians. We would have expected it to be closer. Jamaica get the silver and Russia the bronze. Great Britain finished in 4th place. National record for the Jamaicans, but we can now hand down trackside to Sonia McLaughlin.
Yeah, and the girls are here, the British quartet, Perry Shake Straighten on the lead-off leg. You had a bit of a reshuffle in the order. How did you find being the one having to start things off?
You know what, it didn't bother me. Whatever position I'm given, I'm going to put 110% in it. It was good, it was nice starting off. You know, I want to try my best to give as much lead to the girls and the rest, leave it to the rest of them.
Nicola, it was a really strong performance from the whole quartet. Did you really feel, though, that you were up against it, looking at the quality of the field out there?
It was always going to be a big ask to get a medal. I mean, if you look at the times there, we would have had to run a big British record, which we ran in the Sarka with all of us at the top of our game, so it was going to be tough, but we gave it a go. We all tried our hardest, and we've got to be pleased with that.
Absolutely. And just finally, Christina Horrigu, you've been enjoying kiss time here on the big screen. You needed to get your elbows out there, didn't you, on that changeover against the Ukrainian girl?
Yeah, it wasn't intentional. I think that's a problem with 4x4s. It's so panicky and it gets a bit tight at times, so you would have to just try and find your ground.
Well, Lee McConnell, on the final leg there, you really had to dig deep, didn't you, to keep Britain in fourth?
Yeah, we're a little bit detached, but just, you know, you just got to try and dig in there and hope that someone makes a mistake in front of you, but the three teams ahead of us performed very well indeed, and they got good times out of it, so I think we did well though.
You did. You hung on to fourth, exactly where you were 2 years ago as well. Well done to you.
Thank you. Thanks.
The women's high jump final is coming to an end. Anna Chicharova of Russia, a perfect scorecard all the way up to 2 meters and 5. This is her third and final attempt. Well, she wasn't close. The gold medal, though, isn't decided just yet, of course, because Blanka Vlasic, the Croatian, going for a hat-trick of titles, still has one more attempt at this height. And if Vlasic goes over it, then the medal will not go to the Russian. The gold medal will go to Croatia. She has a nervous few seconds wait, does the Russian. Of course, looking for a major senior outdoor gold, her first major senior outdoor gold medal after winning 2 silvers here behind Vlasic before. She will wait and see if Blanka Vlasic from Croatia can once again deny her the global title. It's all down to the defending champion. She stands at 1 meter and 93 tall. Can she deny the Russian her first global senior outdoor gold? Her third and final attempt at 2 meters and 5. The crowd get behind her. She concentrates on the bar. Last attempt for Vlasic to grab the gold. Oh! You know what? That was as close as it's going to get, and she knows it. But she breaks into a smile. Blanka Vlasic takes the silver, and Anna Chicharova of Russia, she was the world leader coming into this competition, the Russian. Well, she wins the gold medal for Russia. She takes the hugs of her fellow competitors. Well, she's come back from maternity, from the birth of her daughter in September last year, fitter and stronger. And Blanka Vlasic from Croatia takes the silver medal, gives out a little yelp. Well, with the injury problem she's had, I think she'll be satisfied, and Anna Chicharova would have been watching this final attempt here of Vlasic with her heart in her mouth. But this time, the Croatian doesn't deny the Russian world leader the gold medal in a major championships. Drapes herself in the Russian flag, and the 29-year-old can be very pleased indeed. She had a wonderful competition. And there you go, the gold medal goes to Anna Chicharova of Russia, 2 meters and 3. The Russian this time is the #1.
And now back on the track. Can there be another medal here for Great Britain? Tiffany Porter going in the final of the women's 100 metres hurdles. Sally Pearson, the Australian, in lane 3 in magnificent form. A world leading time, 12.36 in the semi-final. Tiffany Porter in lane 5, away from the Australian, who's hurdling here has been absolutely flawless. There is Sally Pearson, the Olympic silver medalist, the Commonwealth champion in Delhi. Here she's moved her game on, 12.36 and suddenly she can start to look at that world record maybe of Jordanka Donkova of Bulgaria, set way back in 1988 at 12.21. A big step up, yes, but she's in great form. There's Felicia George of Canada. She'll be starting in lane 4. And now Tiffany Porter, 12.56 in the semi-final for her second British record of the summer. She broke the British record in Monaco, and then again here in the semis. She might have to do something similar to get in the medals here. In lane 6 for the United States, Danielle Carruthers. She's run a 12.37 with a bit of wind assistance, 4th at the World Indoors, now 31 years old. And don't disregard in lane 7, Kelly Wells. She's run 12.5 this season, coached by Dennis Mitchell. She wrapped the penultimate barrier in the semi-finals, but still had sufficient momentum to make it through. And completing the lineup, it's the Olympic champion in lane 8, also from the United States. This is Dawn Harper. Well, Tiffany Porter competed for the United States as a youngster. She has dual nationality, cleared to compete for Great Britain last year. Her best time, 12.56. Tiffany Porter getting herself absolutely set.
On your mark.
The UK champion, aiming in this final to become the world champion, but the nailed-on favourite has to be Sally Pearson in lane 3. There she is, in the colours of Australia. Quickest woman in the world this year, and sets a lifetime best in the semi-final. Can she go even faster now?
Set.
They go first time, good start from Pearson. Porter up there, challenging for second place, and out in lane 7, Kelly Wells. But it's going to be Sally Pearson. She's going tremendously well. Porter still vying for medals, but weakening, and Pearson takes the gold. And the winning time, 12.28. She's gone faster again. That is one of the fastest runs of all time. Only 3 athletes have ever gone faster than that, and Sally Pearson takes the gold. The time yet to be confirmed, and look at the reaction of the Australian team. They were jigging with joy, and the first gold medal of the championships for Australia, and for the wonderful hurdler Sally Pearson. A new championship record, 12.28. Wonderful performance from her. We wait for the photo finish to split those behind her. Tiffany Porter weakened in the closing stages, out of the medals, but Sally Pearson, 12.28, was superb, and look at that moment of jubilation. What a popular winner that is going to be. That's Tiffany Porter. Disappointment for her. She so wanted it. For a while she was up there vying for a medal, but it wasn't to be. 12.84, second place. Well, we're waiting for the full result here, and we'll go up in the meantime. Let's go up to Michael Johnson and get his reaction to. Michael, that's one of the performances of the games.
Oh, it has to be. 4th fastest time ever. It was a flawless race. She knew that she was ready to run from the semifinals. Ran exactly the same again, just so quick between the hurdles. Flawless. She rarely makes mistakes. You see athletes always. You see Kelly Wells right there from the U.S. making a mistake and hit that hurdle. Sally Pearson rarely makes mistakes. 12.28, unbelievable. Porter, you can see her grabbing her head in disgust there because she knows that she gave it up. She was in position for second all along up until that 9th hurdle. Everything's going well for her. She's feeling that the Canadian athlete on her inside, she's got her. She's got 3 Americans to her right. She knew that would be her main competition. She had them beat, and it was only Pearson out 2 lanes to her left that she was trying to follow. And let's see where it goes wrong here. She's a little bit off balance with that one. Got it back, but she's a real dot. There it is right there. trail leg caught that 9th hurdle, and it was over at that point, and you can see she's so frustrated with herself at that point. That's what happens with the hurdles. You never know what's going to happen. So unfortunate for her because she looked really good in the semifinals.
Well, that was bitter disappointment for Tiffany Porter, and Sally Pearson winning 12.28, but look how close it was between the two Americans for the silver medal position. How do you split those? Well, it was still difficult to split them there. Both given the same time, 12.47, Danielle Carruthers in lane 6 and in lane 8, Dawn Harper, and in the end, given the same time, but Danielle Carruthers gets the silver medal. Dawn Harper is given the bronze, and a wonderful gold medal for Sally Pearson. Tiffany Porter, she came here in good form, 12.63, hit the hurdle, and she slowed her down and had to settle in the end for 4th place. Sonia.
Well, Tiffany, Sanya Richards has just come and said to you, you know, well done, you should be very, very proud of yourself. It's a great performance, but I guess there are very mixed emotions at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate her comments. And, you know, everything's a learning experience. You just take the good with the bad and you push forward.
I know it's absolutely the worst place to finish. Can you just give us an idea of what went wrong at that 8th hurdle?
I think it was the 9th hurdle. I don't even know. I was running really fast. I've never run that fast before, so I hit the hurdle. I mean, you can't make a mistake like that and expect a medal, so that's what happened.
A British record, though, in the semi-final, breaking your own British record. The first British woman into a major global final, what, for 28 years? You do have a lot to be proud of.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I'm a lot better than I've ever been. I'm in the form of my life, so you can't really be too upset about that. You just have to grow from it.
I'm sorry, please dry your tears. Well done.
Thank you.
It made her the 4th fastest of all time, Catherine Murray. Just superb.
It was wonderful. We said at the semi-final that Sally Pearson is one of the best well-drilled athletes in the world, and you can see here head on, full focus, 10 barriers, taking every single one as it comes. It was such a smooth race, such a perfect race. It wasn't for George in the middle, and it wasn't for Tiffany Porter on the left of the shot there. And we see tears from Sally Pearson in absolute delight and agony for Tiffany Porter. But Sally Pearson, with Maury Plant there, manager Maury Plant, working with us here at Channel 4, of course, celebrating with Sally Pearson, not just the race of her life, as you said, John, but one of the best 100-metre hurdle races myself, has ever seen.
I don't think we'll be able to shut Maury Plant up tonight, but we'd certainly like to hear from Sally Pearson, and she's with Sonia.
Well, I think, Sally Pearson, I've got one word to say to you, and that's wow. Can you quite believe what you've achieved here?
You know what, I can. I've worked so hard to get here tonight. I haven't missed a session of training. I've had faith in my coach, faith in my training, and it's gotten me here today, and I couldn't be happier.
It was the biggest explosion of joy as you crossed the line. You were hugging, I think, was that your mum?
My mum down there, my coach is over there, so I had a great celebration all around the track, and all the Aussies are sitting over there, and it's so good to have the support that I have here. I have to thank everyone for that.
When you hurdle, Sally, it's almost like the hurdles aren't there at all. It's effortless. How on earth, under so much pressure, do you stay so cool?
Because I wanted to win, and I wasn't going to let anything else stop me from doing that. I wanted it so badly that I just remained focused and did the job that I had to do.
First gold medal of these championships as well for Australia. That must make you very proud too.
Definitely. I mean, our team has worked so hard to get me here. The whole team have been so supportive, and every single one of us have worked so hard to be out there at these championships, so I'm just so proud of all of us.
I'm going to ask you to do a favour now, to sign this for Channel 4, because you know what you've done here, don't you? You've broken the programme curse.
Yes, I know, and you know what? Stuff the bloody curse. I worked too hard to let any bloody curse stop me from winning.
Fair play, that's the Aussie spirit. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Oh, don't you just love the Australians, and Sally Pearson, I think, particularly. There's going to be some mighty celebrations. They're a good bunch, the Australians, and there's some mighty celebrations tonight. I am absolutely sure. Now, in all the excitement there, the javelin was reaching its conclusion, and let's just find out how that one panned out.
Well, with 2 throwers just left to go, this man sitting in second place, the 2-time European champion, the 2-time Olympic champion, and the defending world champion, had 1 throw to put himself into the gold medal position. And you can clearly see by his face there, it fell a long way short of that leading mark. Andreas Torkelsson, his timing was out tonight. His A game, he definitely left indoors somewhere, but he will be back. And there we are, looking at the new world champion. There we go. It all looks pretty good to me, but when you're talking about these top guys, it only takes a fraction of an inch to throw their timing off. And that's not the prettiest scorecard for Andreas Torkelsson, but he does have a silver medal in his pocket. And here we go. Probably the best, most enjoyable throw that Matthias de Zordo has ever had. He picked up a silver medal behind Torkelsson last year in the European Championships. And this is a throw as a world champion. Gives it a roar, he hits it high. But the damage was all done in the first round. He threw 86.27. And to be honest, no one came within 2.5 meters of him. Absolutely fantastic. He managed to do what his coach, Boris Henry, a 2-time World Championship bronze medalist, didn't do. And just a little fact for you statos out there, Germany have won 3 out of the 4 men's throws here in Daegu. There we go, gold medal for Germany and Matthias de Zordo. Fantastic result for the German. They really have come here and produced the goods when it matters. Unfortunate for Andreas Torkelsson, but he made the competition interesting. You certainly wouldn't want this man chasing you down in the last round. And this third place man, Guillermo Martinez. Fantastic bronze medal. He won a silver 2 years ago, and he's certainly done his daughter there proud.
Well, coming up later, we have got the 200 meters, and it's about this man, Usain Bolt.
As John said down there in commentary, the men's 200-meter final will be in about 5 minutes' time. Michael Johnson, very, very hard to see, barring, you know, a horrible catastrophe, as we saw in 100, how Usain Bolt is not going to take this.
Yeah, he's in a class by himself. We've always known that. Obviously, the false start in the 100 meters earlier in this championship was a shock to everyone. You wouldn't expect that to happen again, barring any injury, because I certainly wouldn't expect another false start. So barring an injury, I see him winning it, and I see him winning it going away.
We can see his semi-final.
And what you see here is, you know, he wasn't really conservative on the start. He's a professional. He knows he made a mistake. He made the adjustment, just have to stay in the blocks, but react well. He ran a blistering curve. He's very relaxed here. He shut it down with 100 meters to go and still runs 20.30, I believe, and, you know, totally in control of the race. He looks very, very good in his start and his drive phase, much better, much improved than he has in the last couple of years, and I think that will bode well for him when he gets a full, really good off season, but he didn't get that this year. But he'll have some competition here. I mean, you know, anything can happen. Walter Dix winning the other semifinal, and I expect that he should be in there with the medals, probably silver, and he'll be chasing Bolt coming off the curve, because Bolt will get a blistering curve this time. Dix, very conservative actually around the bend for him, and is able to shut it down. Didn't run quite as fast with that short and choppy kind of stride and very short arm stride. Looks a little funny. He's a very stocky built athlete, very quick though. He's run 19.69 before in his career. That was in 2007, so it's been a little while since he's hit his personal best. And had a very good 100-meter run here as well. And he's been the top American sprinter in the last couple of years at 100 and 200, so he's got the confidence. And then there's Lemaitre, and he had a very good 100-meter performance here. He's so young and so talented, full of potential, ran a personal best here, and a 100th of a second off of his personal best. And I think that he can go under 20 seconds, and so he'll need to today to probably get a medal.
Well, this is the lineup for the final of the men's 200 meters. Not a great lane draw for Usain Bolt. He's 6'5". Lane 3 a little bit tight on the turn. Walter Dix outside him. Christophe Lemaitre of France as well. Watch him. He's in good form, and as Michael was telling you, he may be in the shape to go sub 20 seconds for the first time. Well, a huge crowd here, and great interest, of course, for the star of the show in many people's eyes, the world record holder, 19.19, Usain Bolt. These are the athletes he's got to beat. In lane 1, Rondel Cirillo of Trinidad and Tobago, US collegiate champion last year. Lane 2, alongside him, the Brazilian Bruno de Barros. Best time 20.16, which he's set this season. Decent 200-meter running. Gonna have to go better than that though, because this fella is looking to emulate what Michael Johnson did and win it for a second time. And for Usain Bolt to defend his world title, and the crowd love him. The histrionics are there. He said he'd continue that despite that false start, and he is loving the moment. The number 1, the world record holder. If there's one man who could maybe just upset the story, if he can get to that personal best time or somewhere close, it was set back in 2007, it's Walter Dix. He got the silver medal in the 100 meters. In lane 5, another Jamaican athlete, Nickel Ashmead, just 21 years old. He's gone sub 20 seconds this season. And lane 6, long striding Frenchman, just 21 years old, sub 10 second 100-meter man. Best time 20.16 in the 200. And he won the sprint treble at the European Championships, Christophe Lemaitre. And I just wonder. Lane 7, Alonso Edward of Panama. And completing the lineup in lane 8, you'll see him in a moment, Jaisumi Saidi Endure. I'm watching it here with Ewan Thomas. Nerves are jangling. I'm sure he's feeling it as well. There's a real sense of tension across this stadium. Is the big man going to do something really special?
How special, I don't know. I was there in Berlin seeing 1919. We won't see that, I believe. But it's fast tonight. We've seen in the hurdles. The wind conditions are great. The track is obviously fast, and I think Bolt's going to run something special. He wants to. He seems very relaxed.
He hasn't lost since the Brussels Grand Prix meeting, the Ivo van Dam Memorial meeting in Brussels in 2007 over this distance. Astonishing record. Walter Dix outside him for the United States. Christophe Lemaitre for France. On the outside, Saidi Endure of Norway. All good athletes, but Walter Dix on paper, the only man who could conceivably live with Usain Bolt at his best. But Bolt in lane 3, it's a tight bend. Who runs the best bend? And Bolt has gone well out of the blocks, and he's already closing down Dix on the outside. And Bolt and Dix, Saidi and Jury has pulled out on the outside. Bolt's in front, and Dix can't go with him. Bolt looks to his right and sees if he has any challenges. He doesn't. Bolt's going to win this one and crosses the line in a wonderful time, 19.42. The big man wreathed in smiles. He's defended his title quite magnificently. He won a superb bend, and Walter Dix just couldn't go with him. Christophe Lemaitre for France was going well down the straight, and he got into medal contention. But Usain Bolt, such a good start, such a good corner, such a good straight, and what a time, 19.4, and he is the world champion once more.
He's world champion. There's the lightning bolt pose. He's happy with that victory. He's very happy with it. He needed to come out of this championship for the gold medal. Lemaitre, I'm just being told, 19.80. A huge personal best for him. Walter Dix, 19.70, just 100th of a second off of his personal best. Lemaitre, very, very happy with that. A huge personal best for him. Huge personal best. Almost 3/10, a little over 3/10 of a second off of his personal best, and he needed to do it to get the medal. He got the bronze, but Usain Bolt ran a blistering turn. I felt like he probably wouldn't be in the 1919 type shape. His speed endurance is not there. You saw him starting to tie up a little bit at the end of that 200 meters, but I'm sure he is relieved. He gets deep into his focus when it's time to go. He's a very focused athlete. Don't be fooled by the antics and the show that he puts on when he's out here on the track playing to the crowd and entertaining. He knows that he is the man. He knows that there's a lot of pressure and expectation on him, and he knew going into this race that he would need to bring home a gold medal and do it in impressive fashion.
And what a run as well, Mike. What a run as well, Michael. Just give us a word about Walter Dix in second place. 19.7, season's best for him, 33 years old. And look at the reaction of the crowd as well, Michael. He is just absolutely beloved. Looks like the Pied Piper, doesn't he? If he goes for a run, they won't stay with him, I tell you.
He loves this. He loves having the attention on him. He's great for the sport. There's mixed reactions about the things that he does out there on the track. Some people love it, some track purists don't. I think it's great for the sport as long as Usain Bolt's doing it. When people who don't win medals at all are doing it, it's a little bit disturbing. But let's take a look at the race. He gets a great start, not affected at all by the false start in the 100 meters. He's immediately up on Walter Dix, who is a great bend runner. Walter Dix, with a lower center of gravity, is a very good runner, very good curve runner. But Usain Bolt already up on him, already beyond him. Walter Dix, he hung on for a while. Now you'll see they both start to tie up a little bit here at the end. Dix with the short stride and the short, tight arms barely hangs on ahead of Lemaitre, who's already celebrating. He knows he's run a big personal best. But look at Usain Bolt, just extremely relaxed here. Great bend from him. He looks over and wants to see. He didn't expect Walter Dix, I don't believe, to be right there. He's looking again. He's a little concerned. You don't normally see Usain Bolt looking around in a final. Now he's looking at the screen to make sure that he is actually clear. So as I said before, you know, he entertains a lot, he jokes around, but he's very serious about this, and he felt the pressure that he had to win this race. That was significant, just seeing him, Usain Bolt, far and above better than everyone else in the world, having to look around coming down the home stretch just to make sure. That was a little bit of fear there to make sure that Lemaitre or Dix wasn't going to hang on too much longer after he came off of that curve.
And look at this, all around the stadium, people standing up to try and get their picture, and he is followed by that great mob of photographers. Those are going to be the pictures on the internet almost instantaneously, of course, and they're going to be in your morning papers. And he was superb, Usain Bolt. Look at that, superstar has delivered. It's if you go through those histrionics, Ewan Thomas, he's sitting with me watching this one as well. And Ewan, if you're going to go through those histrionics, you've got to deliver, and that's what he did.
That's exactly what he did. If you're going to show off at the start and be that relaxed, you've got to come out and do something special, and that's what he's done. 19.4 after, let's be honest, not a great season, but you're looking at a rock star here. Wherever he goes, I love the way all the photographers are just following him everywhere he goes, and he's loving that. He was running hard, though. You could see he wanted to run a good time, and he was pushing it. And look at everyone. They love him. We all love him. I've got the best seat in the house, and I'm so grateful to be here. It's brilliant.
Grand Prix meetings coming up before the end of the season in Zurich and in Brussels. He'll be getting big money to turn out there, and those tickets in those two stadiums will be the hottest in town. Huge premium now. They'll want to see him there. They'll want to see the return of Asafa Powell as well, who I'm told is going to be running in those late season meetings. What a climax it's going to be to the 2011 athletics season. And a word as well about the Frenchman, Christophe Lemaitre, running 19.8. I remember a youngster called Michael Johnson coming over at a similar sort of age. He ran in Edinburgh and he ran something similar. And there's Lemaitre at the age. Let's just listen to this.
Every day, all day. Believe it.
Yeah, we believe it. Don't worry. We do believe it. We do believe it. I'm not going to argue. For one thing, you're about a foot taller than me. Christophe Lemaitre, yeah, 19.8. Just a word about that. Only 21 years old. He's got huge potential. He's going to go quicker.
He's got to go quicker. I mean, he comes back so strong at the end of the race. What I laughed about him, I saw him at the beginning of the race, and half the French letters seem to be hanging off. I think he's been running so quick. The C and the E are hanging off, but 19.8, that's tremendous for a European athlete to run so quick, and you know he needs to, and that's the effect Usain Bolt has on the opposition. He's running so quick, he drags everybody else around. They have to run that fast just to be in the same postcode as Bolt.
This is just an amazing, amazing scene, and people are just hanging on here to get a glimpse of Usain Bolt. He's not got anywhere near the interview position yet. He's struggling to get round. People want photographs, they want autographs, and we'll try and hear him. But let's have just one more look at the race. Ewan, give us your impression on this.
Bolt had a great start, and it was said before he had quite a tight lane, but he was straight up on Dix. That race was won in the first 60 metres. For me, that was game over, unless he was going to tie up, and he's not going to do that. Because as you see, coming off the bend, he carries the speed through. Look at Lemaitre on the left, though. He's coming through very strongly towards the end, but Bolt's going for that. No two ways about it. He wanted to run a fast time today, and he's done that, and fantastic. Great to see.
It's always invidious to compare eras, isn't it? But wouldn't it have been fantastic to have watched the Johnson of Atlanta against the Bolt of here and of Berlin?
I watched the Johnson from Atlanta about 50 metres behind, so yeah, it would have been nice for Michael to be doing more of the 200, not the 400, but yeah, I would love to see Michael and Bolt run. Who knows who would have come out on top? I'll say Michael because he'd probably hit me later, but Bolt's brilliant. People like Michael Johnson and Usain Bolt, you know, once in a lifetime they come around. I want to say freaks of nature, but brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah, Michael, a superstar in our presentation box and a superstar down there on the track. You'd have loved to have run against him, wouldn't you?
Maybe not. No, you know, you see that, you know, the great athletes bring the best out of other athletes, and he's brought the best out of a bunch of people tonight. And, you know, I don't get too caught up into whether or not I would have won the race or a Bolt would have won, because I was always focused on the people that I had to run against, and then just focused at the end of my career on running the fastest times I could run. And I think that's where he is at this point. If he's just running fast enough to beat the other people, he's back at 19.6 and 19.7. He's trying to run faster every time over 100 meters and 200 meters, and he's racing really against himself. And that's what I was doing at a point in my career towards the end, just racing against the clock, trying to set the fastest possible times I could.
Fabulous. I wonder if at some stage of his career he might just have a little tickle at that 400 metres, Ewan.
Well, he started off as a 400 metre runner as a youngster, so I know his PB he could smash at. Who knows? Without a doubt, I'd have to train pretty hard, and at the moment he seems to have the 1 and the 2 sewn up, but I think if he wanted to do the 4, he could run whatever he wants to run.
And isn't it wonderful to see a European up there giving him such a good run? Charming young man from France, Christophe Lemaitre. And he's taken, well, the better part of 0.4 of a second off his personal best today. Terrific run from him.
That's a huge amount, you know, that's a big personal best. And I've said it, if you want to do a personal best, now's the time to do it. If you go away with a personal best and you've been beaten by Bolt running 19.4, you can't be unhappy with that. Lemaitre run fantastically. Such a great national record.
In the background, you can perhaps hear the national anthem of Germany, and that's because they're just giving the gold medal and just awarded the gold medal to Matthias de Zordo. 86 metres 27, a season's best for him, and a slightly surprise gold medal, I guess, ahead of Andreas Thorkildsen, the defending champion, the Norwegian. And there is the gold medalist de Zordo. Thorkildsen given the silver, and Guillermo Martinez of Cuba, 84 metres 30, he took the bronze. A proud moment for this German javelin thrower. Usain Bolt respectfully waiting for that to end, And now he'll be interviewed for the crowd by a Korean broadcaster who I'm sure Usain will be hoping speaks good English. Let's see if we can catch a little bit of this. Well, it's not, it's reverberating around the stadium a little bit too much, but Sonia McLaughlin's waiting with bated breath. She'll get a word, and we'll be hearing from Usain Bolt after the break.
Welcome back to Daegu. What a 200-metre final we've just witnessed. Sonia caught up with the winner and man of the moment, Usain Bolt.
Well, Usain, gold again. Did you have a point to prove today?
For me, it wasn't really a point. I know, I told the world I'm still the best. I was out of shape, but when I'm a championship, it's our business. And I came here and I just did what I had to do.
Any nerves on the start line because you were under big pressure to get it right this time?
It wasn't really big pressure. I was a little bit nervous. I'm always nervous over 200 meters for some reason, but I think it's because of my favorite event and I love doing it so much. It was a little bit of pressure compared to that, but for me, the start wasn't a pressure because all I had to do was sit and wait, and that was it.
You were certainly gritting your teeth as you crossed the finish line. Just how hard were you actually working out there?
For me, when I looked, after I watched the hurdles race, I saw it was a positive win, and I was like, that's a good sign. So I decided why not just come out here and run as hard as possible. Lane 3 was a bit tight for me. I always wish to run the outer lane, but I didn't run the perfect corner. I think that was the problem. If I ran a good corner, I could have come in straight and I could have done much better, but I'm happy.
You're the biggest star of this sport, the ultimate showman. Everybody wants a piece of Usain Bolt. Do you think you can still keep delivering on the track?
That's without a doubt. I proved to the world I'm still the best. I made a mistake in the 100 meters. If I didn't, I would have won without a doubt. So for me, I just came out here, show the world that, yeah, I made a mistake, but that's nothing. I came in the 200 and I proved to the world I'm still the best.
You certainly did. Well done.
Thank you very much.
So, no mistakes from Usain Bolt this time. He blew away the opposition on that bend, and Sally Pearson's 12.28 will live very long in the memory. 2 fourth places for Team GB. Better luck tomorrow. We'll see you then.